Today's episode is sponsored by Squarespace. What's up, perverts? It is once again time for another journey on two wheels. After all, they say it moves the soul. But you'd have to ask someone who has one. This time would actually be a little bit different. We're actually heading northwest, specifically Pacifically. That's right, it would be two hoes heading to the biggest hoe of them all, the Hoh Rainforest. The idea was essentially to take a route up the coast from LA to Washington and then back down through a more central corridor. And by we, I of course mean my sometimes platonic degenerate of a friend Tim, who I actually met at a furry convention a couple years back. He doesn't like it when I tell that story though. Since then, we've put ass in saddle many a time, from crossing the entire country and back to trips out to Colorado and Albuquerque. It's always been a stellar time, and this one would be no different, just as long as Tim follows the, one rule that we agreed on. Looky, but no touchy. Anyway, it's no time for a history lesson. I grabbed my typical photography motorcycle road trip kit, the Rolleiflex TLR, the Contax T2, and just a shitload of Ektachrome, and headed out the door, for we had been planning this trip to drink our way across the Pacific Northwest for maybe the better half of a good 6 months or so.
Good morning. The sun is shining. Actually looks really beautiful. Maybe I should shoot. No. There's no time. You are joining me here at the beginning of about a 3-week-long trip to the Pacific Northwest. Going up to Washington. Forks is kind of about as far north as we're gonna go. We're gonna be doing some camping, some hotels, some yurts, some cabins. It's gonna be a good time. You're not gonna want to miss it. I'm overhyping this. Let's fill up and get our asses to Tim's place. Oh my god, I can't wait until I'm out of California and I don't have to deal with this. When you fill up on gas here in California, there's a, I don't know what it'd be called. I guess like it's like a catch or something. I don't know, man. I didn't design this shit. It's this thing. You have to like push it down to fill up your motorcycle. It's really annoying. It's just in California. Done a pretty good job of packing this thing up. It does look a little ridiculous now that I'm like looking at it. Oh crap, I was gonna fill this up too. What time is it? I always screw this up, filling this water bottle up. Or it's water bottle. It's not a water bottle. It's a spare fuel bottle. Okay, let's just go slow. Nope. Okay, doing good, doing good. Oh, yeah, always happens. Got some motorcycle food. Let's get going.
Anyway, there at the first gas station of the trip, I made a vow to my photography ahead. Sure, yeah, I've made many vows to many people and broken just about all of them, but this one would be different, probably. I would absolutely, under no circumstances, take a photo of a gas station on this trip. It's a crutch that I lean on too often in my work, and I've already got 1,000 photos of gas stations, so I don't really need any more. I don't need to go through the usual, eye roll when I'm scanning my film and see yet another gas station photo. My drywall can only take so many impacts. Anyway, whatever, 40 or so minutes later, I made it to Tim's place and picked up the, bummer half of this trip.
What's up, pimp?
What's up, playboy?
Get some coffee?
Yeah. You guys got water too?
No.
That was that. It was time to set sail and make our way up the coast a bit towards the North Bay, where we'd be crashing with my brother for a day or two. That same brother that has nothing but respect for me.
What do you bring to any conversation?
Okay. I think something's wrong. Maybe something's loose on Tim's bike. He's too cold. Damn, it's beautiful. I feel like we're gonna see a variety of different temperatures on this one. I think once we kind of hit Central California, it's gonna be a lot warmer. So, just trying to enjoy it now. Damn. It is hazy. Dude, I can smell it. Wow. Not the mist, I can smell the beach.
As we cut inland on the 101, the temperature started to rise drastically, and so did our primal caveman requirement for food.
Taco Bell breakfast was a bit of a tempting option, but we're going to the diner. It was funny at the gas station, Tim and I were like, thank we're not on the Highway 15 through the desert again. It seems like every one of our trips, that's like the way we go. Dude, this is the world's longest light. bitch.
Ride up the 101 was absolutely beautiful, but it was also hotter than hell itself. A place I'll probably get to know very well at some point. To attempt to fend off the heat, we stopped to pick up some world famous garlic ice cream, as we knew we wouldn't be, kissing anyone except, I don't know, potentially some potatoes that look kind of sexy or something. I mean, who knows what will happen as our time away from our girlfriends increases.
Woo. It's like when you do 600 miles, 400 is no problem.
What I'm referring to here is a recent trip that we did where we crossed the Interstate 40 from Albuquerque to Vegas in one super long ass day. It was something over 600 miles on the bikes, and it was by far our longest that we've ever done. And it's not really something we're looking to repeat anytime soon. Dude, that's pretty f***ing gross. It literally tastes like shit. Anyway, because mama didn't raise no quitter, I housed the entire thing. It gurgled in my stomach, and I lost a whopping 20 pounds and about 2 hours of my memory that night squatting over my brother's cat's litter box.
All right, my other GoPro decided to literally shit itself, so I hope you guys are cool with perspective for a little bit as we go through San Francisco, the city of cities. All right, as you can probably tell, made to San Fran. No one calls it San Fran. I don't know why I just did. Should be at my brother's place, saying 45 minutes, probably less than that. We're gonna bum this one, yep. Pretty cool. I grew up in the Bay, so I've been over this bridge hundreds of times, but it's always incredible.
Whatever, we eventually arrived at my brother Matt's place, and in true American tradition, we got iced, and we're drunk in like 9 minutes flat, mostly from dehydration though. Whatever, it should be fine. We'll make up for it by drinking tons of water on the back end, and totally not forget to do that so that I wake up ready to conquer the day ahead. Feeling like $1 million because we were drinking, whatever chemicals are in these things. Probably some shit left over from Nam. I decided to load up my film cameras finally, as we had an off day that day.
How's it feel to know that not a single woman subscribes to your channel?
In the contacts, I threw in some Camir 400 that I'd be pushing 2 stops to 1600 ISO, a classic recipe that mostly always delivers. I push Camir to 1600 by default nowadays for essentially 2 reasons. For one, 1600 ISO is pretty high ISO, so the low light capability is pretty good. And 2, Camir 400 is a stock that desperately needs contrast, like the chipmunks need another squeak wolf. In the Rolleiflex, I loaded up some medium format Ektachrome that I'd be shooting at box speed with a heavy brown filter. I do that because Ektachrome on its own renders an image bluer than this motherfucker's eyes, and counterbalancing it with warming filters can even it out quite a bit. With not much to do that day, we hopped on the bikes and headed down to the shop with my brother because the backrest on Tim's bike was a little loose. Being photographically minded, it was a rare opportunity to shoot some shop interiors. But first we had to say hi to Maddie, who I cut from the rest of the video because I think it's funny.
Good afternoon. It is no longer morning because we were up pretty late, let's just say catching up. We're gonna go get some food and then pop by my brother's work. I brought my cameras with me to do a little bit of shooting. Oh man, it feels too good out here.
Big ass horchata.
It's sauced, okay?
Anyway, the shop was super cool. You know, to be honest, this was really a job for 800T, but I didn't have any on me. Like I always say, I was up shit's creek without a plunger. I'm always coming up with these crazy, cute little taglines. It's what made Monica fall in love with me. At least I did have some color on me, you know, some Ektachrome, which is just about nowhere near fast enough to shoot these lower light interiors, but someone was stupid enough to try anyway. This is probably my favorite shot of the whole deck. A nice, somewhat liminal space where someone clearly rage punched a hole in the door. I knocked out a whole roll there, you know, no problem. Of the 16 exposures of Ektachrome, I got 5 keepers and 1 portfolio shot. Nice. That's actually better than usual for my first roll. You know, the roll that's essentially a warm-up roll for the better work to come.
Tim, I have the same car as him, but mine's a bigger engine and faster.
Older and a smaller gun.
All right, now we're heading home. Gonna shower and then head over to my mom's. Woo! Hell yeah, brother.
Anyway, after brushing my teeth with hard Mountain Dew, we hit the hay and got a full night's sleep knowing we had mileage to cover the next day.
Good morning. Actually, it's a bad morning because we are leaving our friends behind. They treated us very good, which is surprising because they're our friends. We're gonna go gas up down the road because I literally have no gas. I don't know how this thing is running at the moment, to be honest with you. Today we're heading pretty much due north on the 101 to the Redwoods. We have a campground for 2 nights. Meet up with some more friends. We're gonna basically be on the Oregon border, which is crazy. Be about 300 miles. It'll be a very beautiful 300 miles, so it'll probably go pretty quick. I used to go to this park all the time. Pioneer Park. Remember having a date there once.
Headed due north on the 101, it quickly turned quite beautiful, and the towns became smaller and smaller. We stopped for some breakfast, and I shot a few quick photos on the T2, one of which I like quite a bit. These 2 chefs clocking away in the kitchen.
figured it's been a minute since I checked in, and I know you were patiently waiting for it. Let me turn my music down, right? Kind of hard to talk when Taylor Swift is blasting in your ear. Oh, dude, it's so beautiful up here. You can like smell the trees and everything. Starting to see some like actual redwoods like this. I think this is a redwood. I mean, it's massive. The Peg House. Huh. Never don't stop. Pegging?
This road that goes through the redwoods is called the Avenue of the Giants, and it was just awesome. I've never felt so small. In the book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I haven't finished reading yet, but will still regurgitate confidently like I have finished it, the author talks a bit about, seeing landmarks like these and how it's, I guess, preferable on a bike over a car oftentimes because it's more immersive. You're forced to, feel the temperature, smell the smells, be more connected to the surroundings because there's no barrier more or less separating you from the environment. And I gotta agree, days like this are why I keep heading back out there to do trips like these.
Dude, there's a shot of us coming out of that curve and it just opened up and I got you like really close. Yeah. I was like, dude, this is the shot. It's the fucking trailer right there.
Hola. We have made it to Eureka. And I'm pretty sure it always is this overcast here. Time to get gas. And we have about 80 miles to the next spot.
Okay. Damn. This is a toilet that needs to be photographed. I don't have any color in my camera at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you again. Long time no see.
Eventually, we arrived at our campground for the next 2 nights with Sarah and Matthew. I know there's a lot of Matts in this video, but just do your best, okay? It's gonna be our first night of camping for the trip, and boy howdy, was it quiet as hell out there. You could literally hear every drop of oil leaking from Tim's bike. Anyway, being ass deep in Bigfoot country, I spent the morning listening to hours on hours of Bigfoot mating calls, in an attempt to recreate one myself to entice the ever-elusive beast towards me so that I can finally live out my lifelong dream of wrestling one to the ground and becoming rich. Of course, now that I think about it, it probably would just want to f me instead, so maybe it wasn't really the best plan in hindsight. Whatever, as we went searching, I brought my Contax T2 and popped off a few shots along the way. Nothing really notable, just a shitload of forest that looks like we stepped into Jurassic Park or something. Are you supposed to make out with them or something?
Yeah, go for it.
Anyway, after roasting our wieners on the open flame like frontiersmen of the past, and also, of course, our sausages, we were ready to head off into the deep jungle even further. after ruining the peaceful morning ambiance for everyone in the campground, we took off in a sprint due north.
All right. Wow, that is foggy. Hope that clears up. Headed north. Today we're heading towards Tillamook. There's a Tillamook creamery there. It's where all the cheese and ice cream and dairy products come from. But you can actually go to their creamery and get it right from the source. So that's the plan for today. It's about 300 miles. All right, here's the deal. We still have about 250 miles to get to Tillamook. Really, one of the highlights of this trip was is the Tillamook Creamery. So we're gonna do what we can. ETA is currently about 4:30, and it closes at 6. Part of the problem is the 101 gets pretty windy. It's saying 4:45 estimated time of arrival. We'll let you know if we get there. So we're definitely in fire territory. No question about that. Also, this traffic was not on Google Maps for some reason. So I think it's construction, but it is setting our time back a little bit. Another traffic stop for construction. I'm not loving our chances of getting to Tillamook. Damn. Oh, there's a lighthouse out there. Oh, wait. I think I've been to that lighthouse. If I have, future Jason, can you roll the photos? Thank you. Okay, so we're 70 miles out, but it's saying it's gonna take an hour 40. We're still slated to get there at about 5:22. Boy, is it gonna be worth it, or I hope it's worth it. My ass hurts. Tim's ass hurts.
Eventually, you know, we made it after about 6 to 7 hours on the road, and our reward would be beer and cheese, which was perfect because we'd be sharing a yurt that night with no ventilation. Anyway, the Tillamook factory was everything that we had hoped for and more. The food was top tier, and above all else, it made us more or less forget the long day of riding it took to get there.
Well, what can I say? That was pretty good. I did not hate it. Probably not the place for you if you're lactose intolerant. I could see it kind of being a prison. But yeah, I got a bunch of dairy shit. It was pretty good. Highly recommend. I'm gonna go throw up. We're staying in a yurt tonight. Done it before, and it was a mixed experience, so we're trying it again. Looking for the yurts. Oh, there they are. Oh shit, there's outlets in here. Damn. High tech. Alright. Beer run done. Damn, that rhymed. I'm like Dr. Seuss. It's very beautiful out here in Tillamook or Bay City or wherever the hell we are. There's like this wall of clouds. It's kind of broken up a little bit, but it's still there. This wall of clouds that's coming over the, I don't know if that's like a peninsula or what over there, but I mean, goddamn, look at that. Isn't that cool? I did not bring a camera.
It's a beer o'clock, baby.
Yeah. Oh, oh, don't sit down right in the middle of this thing.
Smack you right on your grundle.
Oh, great. So this is making the cut.
Probably going back to Tillamook this morning. Get some more cheese straight from the teat. Heading up to Forks today. About 250 miles. It's gonna take about 5 hours. A lot of windy roads, 101, one-lane highways. You know the drill.
Anyway, when in Rome, do like the Romans do or whatever. Not like the pervert stuff though. The only thing we're perverts for is cheese, which brought us back around again to the Tillamook factory.
Like a drug addict, we've come back for more. Hola. Lucky for you. Oh wow, that's a cool shot. Man, I gotta turn off photography brain sometimes. Even though I haven't really been shooting too much on this trip, I've been very picky. That's a cool Pepsi thing. Yeah, there's cool shit here. We don't have time to stop. We got like 5 hours to go. Stopped off at the Tillamook Creamery one more time before leaving town. It was delicious. 237 miles, 5 hours to a cabin just outside of Forks.
Today we'd be going about as far north as we would on this trip and entering Washington State. You can tell that we're actually pretty close already because everything is gray and depressing. As we cruised on, stopping for gas every time our engines started bucking, we eventually stopped at a station with great photographic opportunity nearby. So I grabbed my TLR, my contacts, and, surprise, a secret third camera. It's not really a secret, I just forgot to mention it earlier. But yeah, I also brought my, full spectrum Sony to knock out some aerochrome-like work while I was up there. This shot is great. It's literally a portfolio shot. But does it break my vow to not shoot gas stations on this trip? Not sure. I think because I didn't shoot the gas pumps themselves, maybe it's fine. I mean, come on, how the hell do you pass this shot up? You don't. You take the photo and then ask for a signed release from the dog later. Like I said, I also busted out the color infrared. I was testing a then unreleased lens, the Thypoch Simera 50mm 1.44 M mount. It's a very sharp lens for sure, but maybe not really the best choice for infrared as it kind of suffers from those hotspot issues that plagues, well, most lenses. Regardless, the cool thing is that it can be declicked pretty easily, and closing down the aperture is quite satisfying because the blades make almost a circle. I still knocked out one of my favorite infrared shots to date. This old ass grocery store slash motel. I don't know. I mean, I guess any grocery store is a motel if they don't catch you. Whatever. I also shot it on regular ass color, but it was the usual, middle of the day, bad lighting, bad color, bad photo.
That was a nice break. We were kind of on the road for a minute there. We crushed like 100 miles, something like that.
Took some shots around here, not of the gas station. I've been a very good boy. So while maybe the photos were taken standing on the gas station property, they weren't taken of the gas station itself. So your boy is growing as an artist.
But speaking of growing as an artist, let's take a quick minute to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace, for providing the tools necessary to grow your online presence as an artist. Chances are you've probably heard of the industry-leading Squarespace before, but did you know that the team behind the website building powerhouse recently implemented a bunch of tools that utilize groundbreaking AI to custom build the website of your dreams? Tools like Design Intelligence, which utilize revolutionary artificial intelligence to not only perfect but personalize your new website down to every last detail. Are you a photographer like me looking to show off your work and maybe even ultimately take it a step further and sell prints of your photography? Great. You can now use AI to power things like product and video descriptions, as well as email campaigns. It's designed to take some of that load off when crafting your new website workspace to allocate, other resources like time and critical thinking to other more important components of your online presence. And on the topic of selling products, Squarespace even features preset payment infrastructure to start the inflow of economy to you in exchange for goods or services. If you've ever dreamed of making profit, Squarespace has you covered with payment methods such as Klarna, Direct Debit, Apple Pay, Afterpay, and even ClearPay. So what are you waiting for? If you're ready to build a website, you can start a free trial today at squarespace.com/grainydays. And if you use the code grainydays at checkout, you can get 10% off your first purchase.
Tim's jamming out to Nirvana because this is where Kurt Cobain's from.
Anyway, after the gas station that I was forced to refrain from shooting, we didn't really get far before we hit a routine traffic stop search for drugs. But lucky for me, at these things, they don't really search that far up your ass.
A little bit of a traffic jam.
Anyway, about halfway through Shrek the Third, we finally arrived in Forks and, of course, our stay in the cabin buried deep in the woods.
We are almost at our accommodation. It's a cabin somewhere back here. Damn, where does this road go? We're really out here. Oh, Huckleberry Cabin, this way.
With our asses still in pain and basically sanded down to flat profiles of their former award-winning glory, we hop back on the bike to go get food at the only thing nearby, a Twilight-themed camp store and restaurant. And sure, yeah, the food there kinda sucked, but the ambiance and overall themed experience, it also sucked.
Well, we got food, we got beer, we got water. The three pillars of human survival. This is not really an off-roading bike, but it seems to handle it okay. I got one. Ah.
Cabin was a unique place to stay. No Wi-Fi, no potable water, very little to no electricity, which meant, no Xbox and no beating up whores in Grand Theft Auto. It was definitely a retreat from a lot of the bare necessities that we take for granted.
That squirrel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something in his ass and he's holding nuts.
Fuck Tim. That squirrel probably has a family, Tim.
Anyway, with no Wi-Fi, I was forced to talk to Tim, which was my own personal hell come alive. We'd have to find some common ground other than, motorcycles and arguing about who's better at kissing.
Drinking out of one of my pots because I forgot my camp mug.
Yeah, and I'm sure that these supplied coffee.
Oh,
Anyway, off to an 0 for 1 start that morning, I decided to take an outdoor shower. And just like the showers in prison, that shit was ice cold and you had to watch your back. We weren't just gonna sit around all day and talk about our stupid, lame-ass feelings or whatever. We were in Washington, near the coast. So we hopped on the bikes and headed about 30 minutes west to see some more dreary coastline.
Good morning. It is a good morning. It's actually been a really chill morning. We have a nice sunny day today, and it's perfect for infrared, right? So let's get her done.
While looking for a different spot that Tim knew about, we stopped at this area to check things out a little, and it was beautiful. If for nothing else, the infrared took center stage and turned these scenic beaches into something maybe you'd see on another planet. Or if you were tripping on a shitload of mushrooms you found growing by the side of the road, which is a mistake that you don't make twice, trust me. Anyway, I shot a murder in progress and I quite like it as well.
Okay, so we're looking for Rialto Beach, which is on the other side of this like inlet. Unfortunately, we have like no service, so it's kind of hard to tell where to go. So we did the old-fashioned thing and asked someone. There she is. Found it.
We posted up at Rialto Beach for several hours and just took it all in. The weather was coldish, which is lucky for me because my summer bod wasn't quite ready yet, and I didn't want everyone to make fun of my tiny nipples. It was a good people-watching spot for sure, and Tim took the time to write down some, beautiful poems that he thought of, though the ink and paper might have been ruined by his tears. Again, the infrared looked pretty cool here. The Ektachrome was just okay, but I was out of Kentmere, so like me in that IPA before me, I slammed a roll of bulk rolled BWXX down the Contax's throat. Of the previous 36 exposure roll, I got 19 keepers and maybe one portfolio shot. Anyway, after Tim was done throwing rocks at the kids playing in the water, we took off to get some food at a locally recommended spot and then shot some dockside scenes that aren't terrible. This is probably the best one. It's quite difficult to shoot under overcast conditions. I don't know why I continue to try. You'd think I'd learn by now and stop wasting Kodak's most expensive film stock. Back at the cabin, things were moving at a super slow pace, which was fine with us. What was there really to complain about? Like caveman, we had all the necessities: fire, rock, unga bunga, and refreshingly cold beer. That ski was a wrap ski on the previous roll of Ektachrome. Of the previous 16 exposures, I got 6 keepers and 1 portfolio shot. Maybe 2, I don't know. We didn't really have much to do that next day, and to be honest, there wasn't a lot to do or see in the area that wasn't, heavily Twilight themed. It's kind of funny. Sitting in my shitty, dark office and reviewing this footage, I would give anything to be back there right now. But at the time, I remember feeling like we were there maybe a day too long.
Good morning. Another day out on the range. Got some rain last night. I woke up at like 3 a.m. or so, stepped outside and it was raining, which is pretty magical.
in a rainforest at night. Oh, what's going on here? It's like a huge ass biker gang. Well, biker gang, they're all in Vespas. Whoa. That was interesting.
I mean, with no Wi-Fi and no services, this cabin was pretty ideal for, you know, putting your head down and forcing yourself to squeeze out some creative work, for sure. But I didn't really have anything to work on at the time. Sure, yeah, maybe I could have worked on my personality and general shitty attitude, but I didn't, and I don't want to change.
All right, easy there. Hi. Oh, so cute.
Oh, there's no way that's good.
Yeah, you didn't bring a tripod with you this time, huh?
No, I have one. I just don't use it. Oh, here we go. Got it.
You ever wonder about what part of the horse this meat is from?
Holy shit.
We just had a big ass owl fly over us. We didn't know it was there until it like let out this crazy screech that scared both of us. Well, mostly Tim. And then it flew over us and took off. I tried to get it on camera.
Who the f*** are you talking to?
Bitch, I'm making art over here. I'm looking a little rough around the edges. I guess situation normal. All right, quiet down, Pink. It's time to do the morning brief. Adios, cabin. It's been real. Speaking of it being real, last night was kind of creepy. We had like an owl sighting, like it was hunting us. Some of the the string lights, oof, a little slippery this morning. They kind of had like a short, so they were like blink on and off at like random intervals. It's kind of creepy. We're on our way to Tacoma. We're just gonna crush a bunch of miles this morning, try to get out from under this cloud of rain.
Yeah, so us, tired of in a bucket in the woods, we began our return voyage back through the interior of Washington, and let me tell you, it was damn beautiful. I'm not really much of a landscape photographer, so it was all lost on me photographically, but kind of like a cool painting in a museum. I could appreciate it for like, 30 seconds before I got bored and wanted ice cream.
Got some motorcycle food and some human food. And now, time to head to Tacoma. Should get there around 2:30. About 106 miles.
Anyway, yeah, we made it to Tacoma, and it was about as cool as a place or car named Tacoma possibly could be. Yeah, a fall from that high won't kill you, trust me. Regardless, we made the best of it. We did some laundry.
I feel like this is the first time you've ever done laundry.
No, it's not. But don't call Monica or my mom and ask them.
Yeah.
And then went downtown for dinner, and let me tell you, it was probably one of the best meals I've had in my life. Until, you know, the bill came and I told Tim that I forgot my wallet. Okay, so the thing with the contacts, let's just get this out of the way. So unfortunately, this roll of BWXX was stolen out of a public mailbox en route to a lab and, you know, never seen again, which is super cool because it's the second time that that's happened to me in the same year. Not that anyone who steals mail cares, but once again, I am forced to reiterate, these rolls of film have no value to anyone besides me. So, to whoever stole them, I hope you get hit in the groin so hard that you lose all functionality of your dick and balls. And if it was a woman who did it, same.
Yeah. Home sweet pineapple.
God damn, I can't believe they're back together after all that shit.
Your butt cheeks?
Anyway, with our asses hitting the 5 and trading beautiful scenery for the opportunity to finally move faster than 55 miles an hour for the first time in ages, we made our way south towards Oregon.
I don't know if this camera caught it, but I just got hit with a, I think it was a bolt or something off something. It was big, right in my leg. Dude, I'm gonna get a bruise from that. I mean, this is beautiful though. Theoretically, Mount Hood is somewhere around here, but I don't think we're gonna see it today. There she is, for a second.
With the landscape changing quite a bit around us, we eventually arrived at our campsite for the evening, and I was kind of starting to realize that I was more f***ed by circumstance than whatever happened to this poor fish.
Okay, well, we're almost here at the campground. I'm not sure what's going on, but every time I let off the gas, essentially when I engine brake, the bike makes a kind of like rubbing or grinding noise, and it's been getting worse. Yeah. Feel it doing something under the bike. It's not doing anything right now. Well, this is the campsite. Turn the engine off. I don't know. See if the problem persists. Not loving it.
No campfires allowed. What are we gonna do about it, big dog?
Great.
Alright, dog, I'll see you in a little bit.
Anyway, with time to kill and me starting to get nervous that something on old Rusty wasn't really moving and shaking correctly, I decided to head into town and see what my options were.
The issue persists. Took a look at the chain. Does seem a little bit loose. So we're gonna try it out. Oh, I went the wrong way.
After after finding a shop, it became pretty clear to me that the problem was simply that the chain was loose as hell, like my standards.
All right. Sounds a lot better now. It was definitely the chain. I couldn't really hear it too well on the bike. I took it to M-Tech here in Old Bend. Really nice guys. Tom is definitely a straight shooter, man. Tom sits on the bike and he's like, holy shit, where's the fucking clutch? It turns out Tom is not a DCT guy, is the basically the end to that story. What's up, big dog? Yeah?
Kind of funny. They took one look at it, and the guy was like, this is unacceptable. He's like, yeah, your shit's f***ed, dog. You need a new chain. I was like,
you need a new chain?
Yeah, because the rivets inside were also f***ed too. He's like,
I heard that shit rattle.
I know.
When he pulled out. I was like, ooh.
I didn't know how bad it was until he hopped on the bike and drove it away. I was like, oh yeah, it's the f***ing chain.
Anyway, since it was hotter than Sydney Sweeney out there and there was like literally nothing else to do, we decided to pop into town for a tankard of grog at the local shithole.
All right. Got some dinner, got some supplies. I don't know if the GoPro does it justice, but it's pretty smoky out here. It smells like campfire. I believe there is a fire nearby. Early start to Crater Lake tomorrow, and then ultimately we'll end up in Klamath.
That's like a, what is that thing? Can I zoom in more? Yeah. Whoa.
You got your bear mace?
I do, yeah.
Might want to keep that thing on you.
Dude, that thing looked more cuddly than harmful.
Yeah, it's because you didn't see its claws.
That's gold.
Anyway, with Alvin and his gang of thugs surrounding us, we got our asses out of there before things got too real.
Buenos dias. Got up a little early this morning to get going. We have actually our shortest day today. We're doing about 150 miles, but we are going right past a Crater Lake National Park. I don't know if I've addressed it yet, but my TLR is having some issues. Technically it works fine. It's still workable. I'm still going to be able to shoot with it. The front bayonet mount, it just will not stay on the camera anymore. I'm going to try taking that apart when I get home and fixing it, because it would be really nice for it not to fall off. Ooh, ABS kicked in there for a second. Bro, what the f? There's a Blockbuster over there. Do you see that? Every road trip we go on, we always try and stop and eat at like little diners in small towns. But we discovered Black Bear Diner. It's a chain. It's pretty f***ing good. They have these huckleberry milkshakes that are TDF, you know what I mean? To die for.
After drinking that huckleberry milkshake for breakfast for some dumbass reason, which of course was bookended by a bathroom huckle blowout that had me gripping the stall walls hoping I wouldn't blast off into low Earth orbit, we decided to investigate that rare Blockbuster sighting we just had.
Blockbuster next to a Papa Murphy's? This is like middle school to me.
I shot some stuff here, but what can I honestly say? There wasn't really much light inside. I mean, there was, but maybe not enough for like 100 ISO Ektachrome. Colors look weird. They're muddy and kind of unnatural. But whatever. It was cool for the experience of the whole thing.
Crazy, dude.
I know. It's crazy seeing like current movies here too.
Anyway, we had places to be. We couldn't hang out in 90s nostalgia forever, so we pieced out and headed south towards Crater Lake National Park, but were soon enough hit with another roadblock. Turns out fire season was in full effect, and the road out to Crater Lake was closed for preventative measures.
Dude, literally today they closed that entrance.
Really?
I was just looking at the thing.
Look how beautiful that road is, too.
I know. All right, days in, quality establishment. Oh, I'm totally gonna shoot that pool on Ectochrome. Be fucking sick.
And just like I promised, I totally did, and it was super cool. Probably one of the better shots I took on this trip, to be honest. That pool water looks downright refreshing.
Oh, I'm recording any of that. What the hell? Okay, we got the first floor of a hotel, which we never get.
Jason just forgot to hit the fucking record button.
How do you know that?
I just know.
Yeah, like you're some kind of fucking...
Anyway, with Tim totally respecting my sage wisdom and creative vision, we settled into our random-ass Oregonian town hotel room that for some reason used landscape art from Montana of all places. Probably because there wasn't shit out there for hundreds of miles in any direction.
Someone's being really creative right now.
Dude, I don't...
Whatever. We ate pizza, went to the hot tub, threw up in our mouths, listened to fighter jets run exercises overhead, and then called it a night. The next morning, I was getting pretty aggro about my lack of photography over the past few days. So I grabbed my kit and walked around this, universally unphotogenic hotel in an attempt to make it genic or whatever. Here's a color photo of the dumpsters for some reason. I probably also shot it on black and white, and it probably totally slayed, but f*** if I'll ever know. However, in this session, I did shoot this. A powerful portfolio popping pimp-ass photographic pool shot. I don't know why I like it so much. It's just simple and effective. Good lighting, not a lot of color, but it's a total vibe, I think. Anyway, I slammed that into the portfolio faster than it takes a Hot Pocket to explode in the microwave. But enough about potential prison nicknames, we gotta go. Monica only gave me 3 days permission to be out on the road, and I was already 10 days and 200 missed calls deep. This certainly would not bode well for me.
All right, good morning. Got a bit of a task ahead of us today. We're going all the way to Reno from Klamath Falls. That wasn't originally the plan. The plan was to camp tonight, but due to the park fire, our campsite is closed and our reservation was canceled. All good though. We're just gonna haul ass to Reno after we get some gas here. It's about 250 miles. Should take about 4 hours. Did it. Back in California, baby. Welcome to California. Thanks, Google Maps. You've always been a real one.
Somewhere en route to Reno, we stopped at this way station in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and it was a good time to stretch the TLR. And f*** it, the infrared too. Actually, this shot isn't too bad. Simple yet effective, but if this shot thinks it's going to be in the portfolio, forget about it. Anyway, that was that for the previous roll of Ectochrome. Of the 16 shots, I got 9 keepers and for sure 1 portfolio shot. Anyway, back at the gas station, and speaking of portfolio shots, this is not one of them. I mean, it's fine, whatever. Admittedly, I don't think it fits in with the rest of my work. It's just got popping colors. It's not really much of an interesting subject. Through some gorgeous scenery and winding roads, we eventually made it to Reno for our next mission, to donate some money to the casino.
I guess this is our home for the next couple of days.
We actually wouldn't be moving too much too soon. It was our chance to relax a little from the heat and have fun, if we're even capable of such a thing. No more 90-degree days, packing, unpacking, etc. We could finally chill for a second, which is ironic because 1 second is all it took for us to lose all of our money and turn on each other.
What'd you leave in there?
Sweater. Bitch.
We went to brunch, the pool, the arcade, and even bowling during our time there. It was basically the standard Chuck E. Cheese experience except for adults.
What's up?
Because I'm so kind and good-hearted, I gave a free masterclass on how to bowl in front of everyone, and Tim was all over the place, like piss at a crime scene, but at least we snuck a few beers in to straighten us out. I did pop a squat and out a shot or two on color, but it's okay. Probably also shot black and white, but again, if I'll ever know.
Sorry, I haven't filmed a lot the past couple of days. It's kind of hard to film in places like this. Reno, Vegas, anywhere where there's a casino. You're not really supposed to like take pictures or film on the casino floor. Tomorrow we're heading towards heading further south through California to Mammoth, where we're gonna be doing some camping. Should be cool. Funny if I threw this up and it just stuck to the ceiling. There you go. That'll make the cut for sure.
Don't be smitten by Tim's charming attitude. Ted Bundy also had a similar charm, but enough about why Tim disappears for hours on end in the middle of the night. We had mileage to cover that day. We were saying goodbye to our life of luxury at the casino and hitting the wild open campgrounds of the Eastern Sierra as a stopover to LA.
Leaving Reno the way everyone does, just about. Hungover. We're heading south. We got about 150 to go.
This whole thing was absolutely a full circle moment for me, riding the 395 highway south. I've driven up and down this highway more times than I can remember in a car, and it's always beautiful. To be doing it on Rusty was special in a different way. No air conditioning or Sabrina Carpenter on the radio, just the smell of the trees, the cool passing breeze, and several familiar locations around every corner. It was peaceful, and that's what makes long distance riding worth it to me. Whatever. We stopped in town to fill up at the world's most expensive gas station and took a rest. There was a nearby arena where they were training for a rodeo, I think. So I grabbed my TLR and unapologetically did, TLR stuff all over the place. And yeah, sure, most of it was kind of bad. But there was one shining star amongst all the cow patties. This shot turned out so good. I had just about virtually no time to take it though. I was walking back to the bikes after I passed these two and immediately did a 180, no scoping it without metering, and I'm pretty happy to say it turned out baller. Sure, the colors and the lighting are blah, but I give them a pass for the composition and dusty ranch vibes.
Looks familiar. This whole town looks familiar. You see that? Death wobbles. I was talking to Tim about that because his bike's getting the same thing. It's like when you engine brake or decelerate, sometimes you'll get the death wobbles. There you go, a little bit. We think it has something to do with like aerodynamics. It only seems to happen when we have all this like crap on the back,
Eventually we did make it to a campground somewhere up past Mammoth at somewhere around like 9,000 feet in elevation.
It's gonna be cold. Like, awesome ride up here.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man.
you going?
After my tent attempted a prison break, we decided to go for a walk and see what's around. I had my infrared on me and my contacts, not that it really f***ing mattered.
Warning, bears are gonna f*** your shit up, dog. Got 2 shots of BWXX, 2 shots of Ectochrome left, and the TLR. At least I think it's 2 shots. Yeah. Finish that when the light out here gets a little bit more golden.
So yeah, spoiler alert, I didn't do any of that. So I'm not really sure why I even showed that footage to you. Instead, we made Spam mac and cheese, a complex and ultra secretive recipe passed down through multiple generations of Tim's family. And then of course, when that was done, we had a deep and insightful conversation surrounded by beautiful sunset light.
This is the less sodium version.
Anyway, that night sucked ass. About an hour or so after we went to sleep, well, actually blacking out isn't sleeping, but I digress. Someone from across the campground let out this like startling, blood-curdling scream right as we were dozing off. A few air horns later and we realized they were either dropping a sick DJ set or, you know, trying to scare off a bear. And they must have succeeded because the noise eventually stopped. But did they scare it off in our direction? Who f***ing knows? We certainly didn't. Every sound that we heard, like a branch snapping or leaf blowing in the wind, popped us awake again, clutching our bear spray like soldiers in trench warfare clutching their rosaries. We were the only ones f***ing stupid enough to be tent camping in this whole RV-infested campground. So we were basically the bear equivalent of some dank-ass, cold 7-Eleven burritos, what with us rolled up in our sleeping bags.
Kind of just packed up all our shit and elected to get out of here. We didn't sleep great last night. Just gonna roll down this mountain without waking anybody up. Could have been the altitude, could have been the cold, or it could have been the bear in the campground. Yeah, like 30 minutes after we went to sleep, some guy started screaming bear and making all this noise, which is what you're supposed to do. It sounded like he was like currently being eaten, you know what I mean? And so obviously we woke up and we're like, dude, are we listening to a guy being eaten alive right now by a bear? No. It's kind of hard to go back to sleep after being semi-startled awake like that and just kind of on edge. Today's our last day. We're heading home.
Yeah, whatever. I know that this is an uneventful way to wrap up the whole thing. I think we were just tired, missing home, shook up, and ready to not really be moving down trail literally every day again. I know in the last video I said I would stop taking a massive shit on my work constantly, but the work from this video, it just isn't it. Between the bayonet mount falling off the TLR, my stolen roll of film, and the issues with the infrared hotspot, I found a lot of the work to be muddy, boring, and I guess just lacking direction. I actually feel like I've improved a lot since I shot this video, and I've used a lot of the work in this video as a catalyst to kind of improve my workflow. So not all is lost, though I do think I could have done all the photography in this video better with, you know, my current mindset. Or grind set if you're a douche. With that being said, some of the shots are good. Portfolio even. This handful of work comes to mind for sure. I guess they can't all be winners, but I am happy that I got a few pieces that are solid. I guess not every bike trip is about the photography all the time. I do look back at this one very positively though, but when I do, I don't really think much about the photography that I shot. And I think that says something about it. I got another bike trip or two coming up this year, and I'm currently in the process of getting the TLR fixed, so onwards, upwards, and 2 wheels down, I guess. See ya.